Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to simply provide a little additional information on the Schlage Mediterranean series of primarily interior sets, but there were some exterior sets as well, exterior grip sets. I don't recall the exact year that the series was announced, was released. It's about 1993. And we know that it ran until 2000 when it was discontinued. Okay, so the Mediterranean series was, and I don't remember the grip sets initially, but it was solid brass, decorative knobs and levers in a passage function, a privacy function, and a dummy function. There were definitely entry grip sets. And there is, by the way, associated with this video, a link to the product catalog that we were able to get an archival document from the manufacturer, along with a scan of a full set of installation instructions and then a template that you would have expected to have seen in the box. So the Mediterranean series was indeed a line of decorative material that, from what I understand, was imported from Italy. All the trim designs are Italian cities, if I understand it correctly. The link to the product catalog will allow you to review the options that were at one time available. And this video is to really help you folks who have these and are trying to find replacement parts. That will very likely prove to be a difficult task at best, only because it's been discontinued for so very long. We happen to have a small amount of material, and what I find is when people are looking for replacement parts, they're looking for replacement latch bolts. We do have, at this time, a small quantity of them available. The designs that were available on the interior were 3 levers and a knob. The knob was called the Sienna. That's an egg-shaped knob, a very nice, decorative, heavy knob. You had the Milano lever, the Roma lever, and then the Torino lever. We would sell, actually there was more that came in after the catalog that I have, and it is called an ASTI lever, which I have one here. I have an MD40 ASTI in my hand. The catalog that I have does not show the ASTI, the ASTI. The ASTI lever does still exist today. You can certainly get the ASTI in mortise lock trim. Very nice quality in terms of it being solid brass. That's what an MD40 looks like. We know it's a privacy function because it has that privacy pin, access hole. Nice lever return action. This is a 2 3/8 version. You're certainly going to have one lever of each, and then you'll have a privacy hole on both sides. One, the exteriors for you to insert an implement to be able to pop the pin out, and then the interior side is obviously for the privacy pin itself. Included with this will be the latch, the strike, the screw package, the spindle, and this latch bolt would have been called the 12-250 because it was a 2 3/8. Oh, forgive me, 12-252, I think we would have called this. Yes, a 12-252 because it was a privacy function. It's got the faceplate there. You thread your privacy pin into the one side. Was reversible by pulling that latch bolt out. I haven't done that in 20 years. This will obviously be the interior side. That's what would be presented to the exterior side if you needed to pop it out. And if you have to change the handing, you grab that latch bolt and turn it around. Okay. You're also going to get the mounting plate that's included. You will let's take a look at how this installs. Being an ASTI, it's a handed lever, and they did have to be ordered the proper hand. And I wouldn't say that they're not reversible. I've never removed that Wald's ring that's on there. You should be able to remove that and simply flip the levers, because the interior underneath of the rose portions are not identical. This is indeed the exterior side. And you should be able to remove the Wald's ring and reassemble everything. For the flip the spring over is what you would have to do, and then put it back together, or would have. I don't recall ever reversing one of these in the field. But this would be the exterior side, and this is clearly a right hand. Okay. Your mounting plate will then the latch bolt goes into the door first, obviously. Then your spindle would have gone in with your retaining plate. And that would be now through the latch bolt in the door completely. You'll then bring your exterior over the spindle. The plate from the interior now will come, and with the screws you'll go through these two holes and tighten this together, and now you've got the exterior portion completely assembled with just the spindle sticking out. And then the interior side is literally going to come in and down, and you're going to, with the set screws provided, there and there, tighten the set screws down onto the spindle, and that would complete your installation. Now, I think the problem that some people had with the series is that the latch bolts were, for certain they were not ultimately reliable. There were breakdowns of these latch bolts, and funny operation. And if my memory tells me, there was something not wholly correct with the design and function of the privacy. I remember the privacy latch bolts being problematic, but we're literally talking data from 25 years ago, so I don't recall exactly. So the MD series would have been available in those three levers. The Sienna knob was probably the egg-shaped knob. The Sienna was probably the most popular that we sold. The Roma was the most popular lever. The ASTI, I think, is a later lever, and the document, the catalog that we have, is an earlier document, because it does not show here. It is important to have ordered the hand. I do show that they also had latch bolts where there was a 2 3/4 version and then an adjustable version, but I don't recall ever having seen the adjustable version. So when you ordered these locks, you not only had to know the hand, but the back set as well, because they were certainly not initially adjustable back set. So the fact of the matter is, you've got some Schlage Mediterranean. Here's some additional information: the years it was made, how it would have gone together, the problem areas. But it's definitely very nice quality. I believe that the levers that are made today are completely equal to this in terms of quality and caliber. That's all solid brass. Okay, and Schlage offered this to the market in order to try to address the fact that they did not and don't have today a high-end interior set of hardware that would allow them to do the interior locks of a home and out of the F series or the A line locks that are, the F series is certainly residential in nature, but it's not solid brass knobs and solid brass roses and things of that nature. That material is going to be certainly not builder quality, but it is standard, construction caliber material, although it's, in my opinion, best in its class. But they did not have any decorative levers or knobs to speak of enter the Mediterranean series, and they don't today. And while you can certainly get a huge quantity of design in their F series in terms of knobs and levers and the roses behind it today, it is not a solid brass product. And if you're building a $2 million home, let's just be honest, you're not putting in $25 passage sets. That's the bottom line. So Schlage does not have something that will do that area between the $60 and $120 interior passage privacy. Now, they can give you those beautiful decorative levers and knobs that they have like in their L series, but you'll be doing mortise locks, which is not unheard of in a residential application. And if you're building a $2 million house, you might want to consider a mortise lock. But that's what the MD series was there, and it was not as lifetime of trouble-free operation as Schlage did indeed state. Now, their entry grip handles, I certainly did see those. They were a unfortunate departure from the predecessor, not the predecessor, but Schlage had a grip handle that was made from the 1950s until about 1992, perhaps, and that was the E-Series. The difference is the E-Series gave you a thumb piece, but it put a key control over the thumb piece. You would then choose to add a deadbolt, which most installations would have. Schlage then went away from that functionality to the Mediterranean, where that thumb piece was only a thumb piece, would act basically as a passage, and if you wanted security on that door, which you would mandatorily add a deadbolt above it. So you could have seen an E-Series grip on an exterior door without a deadbolt because it's locked. The key, you've got key control that will permit you to be able to enter as a passage with the thumb piece if you unlocked it from the inside knob or lever, or lock it, and then the thumb piece is rigid. So it was a great design that they unfortunately discontinued. That I find today online on the online, basically flea markets of the world, and people are selling those for exorbitant amounts of money. And the reason that they do is because what clients don't initially understand, they call and say, I have this old lock, it has a thumb piece and a key right above it. Okay, you have the E-Series. The trouble with replacing it is the E-Series took a very unique prep in the door. There is no lock that takes this large oval preparation that the E-Series does. So these opportunists online with the unconscionable prices for these grips that are orders of magnitude more costly than they ever were brand new, take advantage of the folks that have these preparations in these doors and etc. Now, I don't, it was a great lock. I wouldn't pay $1,000 for a lock that I could have bought for $250 brand new with a warranty. But if you have that sort of situation, and the Mediterranean took a standard set of hole preps, but if you do have that sort of situation, you can look into getting a escutcheon trim kind of thing, a mortise case, so you'll be able to rectify the situation, albeit there is no inexpensive way to migrate from a Schlage E-Series. But the MD series, which is what this video is about, took all standard hole preparations. And this video hopefully will give you an overview and allow you to understand the product that you may have in your home. If it was built in 1993 to 2000, it very likely could have Schlage Mediterranean in it. If you have any questions on the Schlage Mediterranean series or any other Schlage product, absolutely visit our manufacturer's page in the site, because on that page you will certainly find archival documentation, old catalogs, and of course current catalogs as well. Thank you very much.